Alright, I have to admit, when I first unpacked this bag, on initial impressions, I wasn't that big of a fan of this bag, to be quite honest. But after using it for a while, I actually grew to like it, and now it is part of this, not sure about the title yet, best bags for the office, best bag for work, not sure, but nevertheless this is part 2. Part 1 you can see either in the description or in the info tab above. And why did I choose this angle? Not sure. I thought it was fun because the Pocket 3 can fit in almost any places. So yeah, let's start the video then. So there are 2 personal goals that I have this year. One goal is actually that I haven't been on vacation since 2019. So this year I really want to go to a vacation, and specifically to Thailand to join a Muay Thai camp. I love Muay Thai and I really want to improve my skill set in Muay Thai, and therefore I am starting to run again. I just did a little bit of a warm-up and now I'm stretching, because I know that in Thailand or in those Muay Thai camps they do a lot of running as well, and also I want to improve my cardio much more, because obviously in Thailand it's going to be really hot. And my second personal goal is, obviously, if you have to do a lot of kicking and stuff like that, you need to be as flexible as possible. And therefore I am hoping for, or my goal is, or my wish is, to actually be able to do a split as good as possible. This is how far I get without warming up as much as I can. But yeah, as you can see, I would say probably 2 feet. Is that 2 feet? Yeah, maybe. With 1.5 feet still left for me to go to the ground. So yeah, that is my personal goal. Having a vacation and being able to do a split at the end of the year. But yeah, let's go running first. Okay, before we go into all of the bags in this video, let's talk a little bit about the definition of what I personally consider a good bag for work. In theory, you could say every single bag around, I would say 15 to 30 liter can be defined or can be used as a bag for work. That being said, I don't know if a bag that is a little bit more military styled, like the Gorok, is very well suited for an office or for an important business meeting. And I know that some of you might disagree. I'm just talking about from the perspective of someone who's living in Europe, or more precisely in Germany. I feel that it is not very common to wear a military styled backpack to work. So for me personally, those types of bags are not that well suited for an office bag. Furthermore, let's talk about the sizing. I think for a shorter person like I am, many bags that are 30 liter-ish in terms of sizing are a little bit too big for me. And to be quite frank, I would say even if you are a taller person, while the bag does look better on you, I would argue that having 30 liter capacity just would kind of tempt you to overpack for your day. Obviously, it is great if you want to go grocery shopping after work, but still for regular use on a daily office basis, I would say go with something 20 to 25. First, not military styled, a little bit more professional styled, so that you could potentially go to a big business meeting without feeling a little bit out of place. And I know some of you will argue, hey, you don't need to worry about what other people think. And I totally agree with that assessment or that opinion. But if you are going, for instance, to a bank meeting, and I would consider that business meeting as well, where you might want to get a loan for your house or whatever, I think you should dress appropriately. Yes, you can argue that you don't want to care about what other people think, but that is the type of situation where I think you need to take care of yourself and consider what the other person might think of you, because you want a get some money for your house. So that's the type of business meeting that I personally am referring to. And when I say dress a little bit more work appropriately, and again, I totally agree. Don't care about what other people think. I wear a pink hat. I don't care about. I like to wear whatever I like to wear. But there are situations in your life where you kind of need to consider the situation that you're in and therefore dress appropriately. And those are the bags that I'm currently considering for this video. Third thing is somewhat business or professional look to the bag themselves. The next point would be, obviously, you want to carry your office equipment or your gear that you need for office. One of the pieces is obviously your computer. Sometimes you have a computer at work, you don't need to carry a laptop or whatever, or your MacBook. So it's not a high priority on this list, but I will take that into account with some of the bags that you will need a proper laptop slot, preferably outside. If you're traveling with planes, then you might want to get to your laptop a little bit faster when you're going through the security check, but it's not high on this list for the bag to be on this list. Most of the office bags sometimes have the laptop slot inside the main compartment. Personally, I don't like it that much, but I think it is fine. Also, many of you like the bag to be able to stand up on itself. I will take a look at that as well. But for me personally, it's not that big of a deal or a feature that I personally need. So to summarize, an office bag should not look too military, or more importantly, look professional or help you to appear professional, let's say that way, and doesn't make you feel a little bit out of place. Next up, it should be somewhere around the 20 liter-ish capacity, so either on a 16 liter-ish or top 25 liter-ish capacity. Then optional that it has a good laptop compartment and potentially is able to stand up. Those are the factors that I would consider for an office or a business bag, and obviously things like great quick access compartment and durability, construction. Those factors are a given. I will obviously take a look at that. So without further ado, let's take a look at the bags that I found to be interesting to be mentioned in this category and that I've been testing for a while now. Oh, by the way, please do not text and drive. Just like in my Ismono commute videos where I review films, movies, books, etc. You can see those videos on my second channel or in the info tab above. I intentionally switch off the monitor of my camera so I don't get distracted. Please do not text and drive. Drive safe. Always look at the road. If you vlog like I am doing now, I consider this as if I would be talking to you on a speakerphone. Therefore, the monitor is switched off and I do not get distracted. Alright, now let's talk about the bag that probably is one of the bags in this category that looks the most of a bag that is suited for the office and for work. However, before starting this video, I want to address something that I already anticipate someone will comment in the comment section below, and that is a few months ago I reviewed the Bryn Mill Work From Anywhere backpack, and back then I wasn't aware of this backpack yet, but when I reviewed the Bryn Mill Work From Anywhere backpack, a couple of you mentioned, oh, that looks shockingly similar to the Troubadour Apex backpack. And now that I have this bag with me, I have to agree, they both look really similar. However, I do not want to get into, let's say, brand war or anything. For me personally, although the bag enthusiasm world is not that big, it's still a very niche category, especially on YouTube. But yeah, overall in the mainstream, people don't really look into bags as much as we are all hoping for. So it is a very small niche. That being said, it is still big. For me, it is very difficult to keep up with all of the brands that are available. And this is the best example. When I reviewed the Bryn Mill backpack, I wasn't aware of Troubadour. And also vice versa. If this bag would have been first, I probably wouldn't have known about Bryn Mill. That is why I don't know who of them was first. If one of those two has copied the other one, maybe they are connected in any way and they work from a similar manufacturing company and therefore it was just a big coincidence that they look very similar. I don't know that. So I usually do not want to get too much into the politics of if a brand has copied or did an homage to another brand. I don't want to go into that too much. I understand that all of you want maybe have some more information of who copied who, but when it comes down to these, in air quotes, smaller brands and companies, I think there are too many factors for me to consider to actually put my finger down to one specific fact that maybe could prove who was first. If it would be Amazon, for instance, or a big company copying a smaller brand and then forcing that brand to go out of business, I think that is a completely different story where I would actually voice my opinion on, hey, Amazon or I don't know, whatever big company maybe ripping off a smaller brand, then I would definitely say something. But in this case, I feel it is very difficult for me to actually know who did it first. And yeah, they both look shockingly similar. That being said, both of them are very well made and very high quality and have small little details that differentiate both of them from each other. But just from first impressions, they do look shockingly similar. I don't know who came first and I'm not going to go into it. If you want to talk about it in the comment section below, please be civil, please be rational, and don't attack anyone, or especially don't attack the brands as long as you don't have any very good proof about it. Now let's go over this bag, the Troubadour Apex, with that out of the way. The Troubadour Apex, in my humble opinion, is one of the bags in this lineup that looks the most like a business office backpack. And also the bag is very well made, and more importantly, this is made out of recycled PET fabric. And I'm not sure if this part of the video is before the Stubble Co Rolltop backpack or afterwards, but from my first impressions of this bag, unboxing it, and despite this also being made out of recycled PET fabric and also these vegan leather or faux leather top handle, which is very beefy and very well to grab, and this vegan leather application here, this vegan leather zipper pulls. Although it is lighter, it is 1 kilogram when it's empty, so it's lighter than a roll top. It is also made out of eco-friendly materials. I did not have the same impression of this being cheaply, in air quotes, in huge air quotes, cheaply made or constructed. This actually feels very high quality and premium. That's the word I was looking for. It feels premium, and therefore I feel it is very good to support your professional outfit, like a suit for instance, or a blazer or a dress shirt or whatever. Therefore, the reason this being a very good bag for the office or for business. And besides it being very well constructed, I do feel this looks very good. It has a very solid shape, meaning that it keeps its shape. It doesn't fall into itself when it's empty. Now it's fully loaded. I will go into what's inside here in just a second, but it keeps its shape, and therefore it has no like crinkling parts and stuff like that, which again supports the idea of this being a cool fashion item to support your professional outfit. You have, as mentioned, these leather accents on the top handle. This top handle feels amazing. It has this soft rubberized support underneath this vegan leather, and it feels very good to grab. It actually stands up on its own. I know that many of you really need that feature. Me personally, I don't care that much, but I can see that it is a very good feature. You have AquaGuard YKK zippers. They feel very good, very smooth to operate and high quality, and I do like these vegan leather zipper pulls. They are great. you have a really cool back panel, and this gets me to one of the negatives that I don't really like. It is the logos and the placing of the logos. You have overall 3 logos, one off the back panel, one on the shoulder strap, and one here off-centered on the side. This one I do like because it is off-centered, it is kind of integrated in the design. It's not that, I'm not sure if obnoxious is the right word for the other labels, but I do like this placing and this design with this metal black beveled, is that the right word, beveled letters, raised letters. But this, I don't know, I feel this looks a little bit cheap. This Troubadour here and this on the shoulder strap. From a fashion standpoint and from a subjective look standpoint, I really don't like this. It does look cheap and it does make the bag feel a little bit off the shelf. Is that the right word? As you know, English is my second language and I sometimes kind of dabble with some new words. So please excuse if I sometimes kind of stumble around my words a little bit. So yeah, I would have loved this would be a little bit less. This is okay. I don't like this, but I could live with this because it is on my bag. I don't see it, but I don't know. This on the shoulder straps, don't like it that much. And yeah, while we are at the shoulder straps, here is a hidden pocket that is somewhat expandable. And I think this is supposed to be maybe for a phone or whatever. I use the Fold 5 phone. This does not fit in here, but to be fair, the Fold 5 is a very chunky and big phone. But it is good to have this kind of pocket in here, this somewhat expandable phone pocket. Maybe also good for your wallet if you want to hide it there. The shoulder straps overall are very comfortable to carry your contents inside. They are soft, they still feel very solid. They have really good hardware on here. This is plastic, but still it feels very secure. But more importantly, I love the strap and organizer. Please, to any brand, use these kind of strap and organizers. These are so much better than these elastic bands. It just makes everything more tidy. You have luggage pass-through, which is really important for most office bags. If you are traveling with a rolling case, then you can put the bag onto the pull thing of your rolling case. That is really good. You have 2 water bottle compartments outside, and continuing with the outside, you have 1 quick access pocket up here, which has a soft inner lining. So in theory, this is good for items like your phone or maybe anything that could scratch. However, please don't put your valuables like your phone into any quick access compartment here in the front, because if you're on the subway, you have that bag on your back. Especially here in Hamburg, the main central station is actually very known for a lot of pickpockets. So if you are on a staircase, rolling staircase, you're standing there are a lot of people who kind of want to pickpocket you. It is crowded. It is very easy to take your time to pull that open and then grab whatever is inside. So I only put my phone stand in here and maybe some cough drops, but that's basically it. I do not put any valuables in here. That being said, I would have loved like a hidden pouch somewhere here in the back panel, maybe for your passport. I feel there would have been the opportunity to put a hidden pocket in the luggage pass-through, maybe for your passport when you're going through the security check at the airport. That would have been great. I think that's a missed opportunity, maybe in the next one. But yeah, those are the pockets outside. You have a laptop slot here in the back panel that has a rain flap over it to protect the items inside. Inside you have a suspended laptop compartment where I have my 15-inch MacBook Pro Retina, but there's also a slot for a tablet as well. So I really like that it is easy access if you're going through the security check at the airport. You have a dual zipper with a top loading, access to the main compartment, and here you have a lot of cool slots basically. I like these 2 slots in this admin panel a lot because they actually fit perfectly my Canon G9 camera, which is my everyday camera of choice at the moment. My Pocket 3 with the tripod fits perfectly in this slot as well. Obviously, I'm filming right now with that camera. You have a zippered compartment up here, which I do like a lot for maybe smaller items like my wallet, for instance. Then you have a phone slot in here. I don't like to use it because because once there's something in that slot, this slot gets really crowded. But if you have something slimmer in here, like a Moleskine notebook or whatever, this slot is great for your phone. Obviously, I like to pack modular. This is the Carryology Bellroy pencil case, my so-called boo-boo kit for ibuprofen and stuff like that. The Evergoods Cap 2 liter, my favorite tech pouch. By the way, I will link all of the items mentioned in this video in the description below. Those are affiliate links, and if you use one of those affiliate links, you will support the channel, but you won't pay more. So if you want to support this channel, please use one of those affiliate links, and if you do so, thank you very much. Evergoods Cap 2 liter, my favorite tech pouch with my chargers and stuff like that. Then my extended EDC in this pouch that I got from JB Outside. Shout out to JB for sending this out to me. This is for cables, chargers and stuff like that. Then also in the main compartment there is this mesh front pocket, also great for items that you want to grab quickly, like my Orbit key for instance. I chuck this inside here, and that's basically it. The main compartment is very well organized. I like the amount of slots and compartments to organize my stuff. And I really like this bag. There's not a lot of negative things that I can say about this because it's well constructed. It has, for me, the right amount of features, and more importantly, for this category of video, it looks great. It looks, in my humble opinion, perfect to wear on an important business meeting. As mentioned as an example, maybe you don't need to go to work with a suit, but maybe there will be a time where you need to go to the bank for a mortgage for a house, or I don't know, whatever there might be an occasion for to go to the bank. And I feel that yes, please dress like you want. Do not care about what other people say. Wear whatever you like. You have seen me in these videos. I like to wear colorful things because I feel the world is already gray enough. I like to wear pink beanies and stuff like that. I don't care about what other people think of me. I just want to feel good in what I wear. That being said, there are occasions in your life where you want to dress appropriately. Or for instance, if you meet up with the parents of your partner for the very first time, you kind of want to impress them, right? Let's say that way. You want to have good first impressions, and those are the times where you kind of dress up and where you kind of do care about what the other person might think. And those are the situations where I feel that a bag like this is very well suited. But that's just me, right? That's just me. And therefore I think this bag is amazing for those situations. And yeah, there are not too many negatives. There are actually no negatives now that I think of it. It's a really cool bag. If you're looking for an office bag, this is great. Alright, let's talk about the next bag that actually is quite unique, but the test of that bag did not turn out like I was hoping for. You know, when I planned this video, which back then in my head was something in the line of great bags for the office or great bags for work, I thought, oh, this is a great bag with a couple of unique features. And to be fair, this bag is very unique and has a few features that some of you might like a lot and really want to take a look at this bag. However, when I tested this bag, there were a couple of things that I did not really like, and I just want to go over them and still keep that bag, although there are a lot of things that I honestly don't like at all, and I would not give this bag the title or being in the list of great bags for the office, or at least with some hesitation. So I will change the title of this video. I don't know what it will be called yet, but yeah, as I said, this bag it's not necessarily a bag that I would consider in line of best bag for work, because there are a lot of things that I did not really like. So this is the Watsonpack 3.0. This is a hard shell backpack with a very unique opening design that kind of reminds me of the North Face backpack that I reviewed many years ago. So what's the unique feature, you might ask? So if you push this button, this thing opens like so. It has this swiveling mechanism, and as you could tell, you need to press quite hard on this button to actually open it. This is by design so that it doesn't accidentally open, obviously. You have a locking mechanism here as well to really make sure that no one... Oh, and by the way, this two-factor lock stopped working for me, so now it's on the non-red position. It still opens, right? And now I put it to the red position to supposedly lock it. It still opens. So yeah, not sure why that is, if it's already a little bit broken or yeah, not sure. So red position, really firmly closed down. Hope that the hook that supposedly locks this actually, but it still opens, right? Not sure. Yeah, also a trade-off of this bag. They call this two-factor authentication or two-factor locking, and yeah, I don't think this is that secure because this locking thing is very close to the opening button. So yeah, it's marketing speech. And this is a hard case material. For me it feels very plasticky, but on their website it says outside it's ballistic nylon 1580 denier with waterproof backing, and the mechanics are glass-filled nylon. Inside it's ripstop nylon. The straps are made out of leather, memory foam, nylon micro power mesh, hardware anodized aluminum, and powder coated nickel. And that all might be true. Still, this plastic, this hard shell case does not feel very premium to me. This is a very subjective, perceived opinion. Your mileage might vary. That being said, despite this feeling like plastic, I can see your gear being well protected inside. I actually dropped this accidentally, and it has a very plasticky sound to it, and is perceived for me a little bit cheap, but it is probably due to the rattling. Some parts, as you can hear a little bit here. Still, it keeps everything safe. Obviously, if this would be a different material, this would be much heavier. This empty, according to the website, is 1.8 kilograms. So it is quite hefty, and it actually, once I filled it up, this is very heavy. That being said, it wasn't uncomfortable to carry, to be quite fair. So everything inside is protected in this hard shell case that looks somewhat like a jetpack. I think this looks cool. It looks very futuristic. It looks like a jetpack, as I said. It looks business. That is why in the beginning I thought, oh, this would be a great bag for this roundup video. And from the features and from the looks, it fits perfectly into an office or for anyone traveling for work. Again, let's stay with the positives. When you open up this swiveling mechanism, you can actually utilize this to prop up your laptop like so, and then maybe entertain yourself on the airport while waiting and watching a movie. So this is a cool feature to have. Not sure how many times I personally would use this, because if I have to wait at an airport, I rather to be quickly and very flexible, to move quickly when someone calls me to the gate or anything. I just watch on my phone, so I'm not sure how many people would actually use it this way. Nevertheless, it's a cool feature, and as you can see, the laptop compartment is inside, and because it is hard shell, I think everything is very well protected. You have a hard case here, which is for glasses. This is the very first time that I would actually use a glasses case for what it's intended. You know that many glass compartments in soft bags usually have the risk of the glasses being crushed inside. This is a hard case, so if there are glasses inside, nothing will get crushed, which is a great feature, and again something that where I thought this could be an amazing bag for the office. I personally at the moment store my Swiss Army knife and cough drops in here, just because I didn't know what else to put inside, to be quite honest. You have water bottle pocket here and an outside strap to attach maybe a jacket if you get warm. You have a hidden zippered pocket here that is good for your passport. Then you have another quick access compartment here for maybe your keys. This is a little bit expandable. What I do not like about this is that it opens up to the bottom. So in theory, when you open it up, and if you didn't put anything carefully inside, could just fall out. You have a little drop-in slot here, but if you are not careful and you just put in something inside and close it up, there is a likeliness of you opening this and it just falling out. So you need to be very diligent about putting that item into this slot here. On the back panel, you have a pass-through to put on your rolling case, and as mentioned, the back panel and the bag overall was very good to carry around. It's not leather, I don't know. It is a very shiny material. It feels a little bit cheap in my eyes. It does not scream premium to me. In the description it said that this is leather, but to me this does not feel like leather. Even if it would be leather, this shininess to it, it's not really my cup of tea. I really like the straps overall though, because it is very tidy. You don't have any dangling strap ends. So I like this a lot. The shoulder straps are comfortable, as I said. However, it is very slippery. In the B-roll you can see me wearing a bomber jacket. So bomber jackets tend to have a very slippery outer fabric. So this left strap tended to slide off a little bit. There is no sternum strap to keep that in place, but for me it's a business bag, and sternum straps do not really scream business to me, in my humble opinion, in terms of looks, right? So I understand why they did not add any sternum straps to this. Other than that, there is nothing more here on the outside. So it's a very streamlined little jetpack, so to say. The Jetsons would be proud. Again, I really like the look. On here, there was a sticker that says, press firmly to open this. There is glue residue. And Watson, I would say, if you attach any stickers on there, please make sure that those stickers aren't the kind that leave residue. I intentionally kept that on here. I have Goo Gone to wipe the residue off, but I wanted to show you that the sticker did leave some really stubborn and nasty glue residues on there. And yeah, I would recommend not to put any stickers on your backpack that leave glue residue, for any brand that is. So let's go into the main compartment. This is a 19-liter capacity backpack. That being said, it did not feel like 19 liters, to be quite honest. Most bags that are softer and have a flexible fabric, they expand a little bit and therefore give you somewhat of flexibility and volume. This is a hard shell case, so what you see is what you get basically. And what happened to me is, you know that I pack modular and I packed everything that I had inside the other bags as well. So this is the same loadout, but I had trouble to fit everything in properly. So my extended EDC, now you can see what I mean by the bag feels smaller than it actually is. So I have the Evergoods Cap 2 liter and oh, it's stuck. So Cap 2 liter, you have to force it inside and you have to pry it out. Granted, this is a very big pouch, but in comparison to the other bags, all of that what I will pull out of this bag now has been in the other bags as well. So having this hard shell and some hooks here and there makes it difficult to pack the items that I usually pack inside, and more importantly, makes it difficult to get out of the main compartment. Then the Carryology Bellroy pencil case, smaller items like this phone case, and obviously my 15-inch MacBook Pro Retina. This is the old version. You have a couple of organizational slots in here. In one, I also store my camera, and yeah, you have slots for a lot of stuff to organize all of your work items. Now, obviously, not all of you pack that much stuff like I do, and especially don't utilize big tech pouches like these. If I would take everything out and just organize that inside here, I would be golden. There wouldn't be any issues in terms of capacity. But I would not call this a 19-liter bag because it is a little bit more limited than I was hoping for. What I do not like about this is once you kind of overpack the bag, let's put this back in here again, or at least some of the items. and you put it in here. You kind of need to figure out how to put that in here, kind of like playing Tetris, because if you don't put it in there correctly, this glasses compartment, it bulks inside and kind of gets stuck on whatever item is inside, and then you have to force this to close. And what happens is this does not really close depending on what's inside properly. So there is a tiny little gap up here where water could get inside the compartment. Yes, there's somewhat of a gasket in here, like on windows, like a rubber gasket, but still, if you somewhat overpack it, there is still a little gap in here and water could push inside anyways. My biggest gripe with this is, while the bag is hard shell, and I know I said in the beginning it did feel a little bit cheapish due to the choices of materials, and I feel when I drop this, it will withstand any drops. And I think this is to some degree durable. However, there are these little hooks here that close the main compartment. These are made out of plastic and it feels like high quality plastic, to be fair, but these are hooks. So whenever I load something in quickly, to go back to the example of me being at the airport and maybe someone says, hey, Mr. Ismono, go to the gate, and you have to stuff your items in here quickly. I feel like I could accidentally hit these hooks multiple times and at some point this will break. If you have a zipper, it is, in air quotes, easy to kind of exchange the zipper at what's it called, a sewer or someone who fixes clothing. I feel that is a possibility. If this breaks, not sure how you can easily replace this. If this plastic hook breaks off or something else on this, then the bag is basically gone. There is a 3-year warranty when you buy this bag, but obviously you have to send it in, and I think I don't like having these kind of breakable parts that close to the main compartment. Imagine this breaking off while you're traveling, then you can't close the bag. That is something I really do not like about this. To be fair, the North Face pack that I reviewed, I believe I mentioned something similar with that mechanism. It was a very similar mechanism where you had these hooks that kept this opening in place, but yeah, I don't know how to solve it. I would have imagined why not use a metal hook or a metal hardware on this part. Not sure why there was the decision to make these plastic. Also, here's the hook as well for this so-called two-factor lock. This, I imagine this being easily broken off. And yeah, so what I did not like is, first, the main compartment not being as spacious as I expected, but that's not the issue. I feel there are many bags that claim to have a specific volume size, but then are smaller than they are being advertised. I don't think that is an issue. My issue is more of that it gets a little bit cramped inside and a little bit difficult to put stuff inside or to get it out if you utilize pouches like I do. Obviously, if you don't, maybe that's not an issue for you. Then the hooks and the hardware, I fear this is just speculation on my part. Obviously, I would need to test this maybe a year long to really see if these hooks are durable or not. That being said, I don't want to test this for a year because it looks fun, it's a fun bag, but it's not for me. It's just not for me, and I don't want to test this, and I don't want to go through all of this hassle to get my... See that? I'm having difficulties just to get this pouch out, and obviously I could change it up, but that again is my issue with some bags where I always say I don't want a bag to force me to adapt my packing style to the bag. I want the bag to be adaptable to me and not vice versa. So see that? I need to kind of force this pouch inside, this as well, and shut it close. Yeah, not for me, unfortunately. And again, I think this is a cool bag with some unique features. I do like this jetpack kind of design. I think this is cool. I feel it has a a lot of unique features that some of you really like. And if you don't pack that much like I do, I think this could be a great bag. But for me personally, I think there are a couple of things that just don't make it as fun to use for my personal needs. So I would really love to know from you, what do you think about this bag, the Watsonpack, this design? Is it unique enough and special enough for you to overlook those trade-offs, those flaws? And do you think plastic hardware is good enough for these essential points like these hooks? Yeah, let me know in the comment section below. I don't know about you, but my social media intake is way too high and I don't even want to mention my screen on time, to be quite honest. So to eliminate my excessive social media intake, I on the one hand going to limit my time on Instagram. You can set actually an app timer, at least on Android, and I'm thinking on iPhone as well. So I will set it to maybe 1.5 or 2 hours. To be quite frank, I actually already reduced Instagram intake and I use Instagram predominantly for direct messaging because YouTube doesn't have a proper direct messaging option anymore. So I already reduced that. The most screen on time is on YouTube, and I love watching YouTube, obviously to support other creators, but also because I really enjoy their content. Nevertheless, it is quite a lot of time on YouTube that I personally spend there. So what I try to do is to listen to more Audible books. For instance, I re-listen to all the Harry Potter books right now, and you can actually watch the Harry Potter book and movie reviews on my second channel at the Bow. But that is what I'm trying to do at the moment. So whenever I feel the urge to kind of want to watch some YouTube videos, I just switch on Audible and just listen to some content. I know it's not the most efficient way to reduce my social media intake, but I'm kind of just wanting to divert away from social media. So Audible is one tool, and obviously another tool that I also mentioned in one of the previous videos is to play retro games on my Anbernic RG35XX Plus. Again, terrible name, but playing on a retro device is actually for me at least, a very good way to divert my energy away from social media to something that is, more enjoyable, but doesn't like bombard me with, oh, buy this is the new product review. I know I'm a product reviewer, but that's why I'm kind of pivoting away to do this kind of vlog style videos and give you some more other benefits as well. But I just want to pivot away from social media to not get distracted by these typical, oh, this is the new stuff that you want to buy, camera reviews for instance. That's how I want to reduce my social media intake. App timer, diverting myself away from social media apps like using Audible or a retro gaming handheld. So what's your screen on time, and do you want to limit your social media intake? And if yes, how do you do it? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's talk about the bag that I mentioned in the introduction, which is the Stubble Co new Rolltop. This is the 20-liter version, and as you can see, it is a very beautiful bag. So why did I add initial impression? Not really. I'm not sure if I want to say I didn't like it, but I wasn't that impressed when I unpacked the bag. So let's start with the negatives first, of course. So when I unpacked this, the first impression that I had was that the bag did not feel, I don't know how to really describe it, but when I touched the bag, when I unpacked the bag, it did not feel very high quality, or I perceived it as a little bit cheap, which now that I've tested it for a longer period of time is a wrong perception in the beginning. This bag is made out of 900D recycled PET fabric. So meaning it is made out of, I assume it's made out of old bottles or whatever. So it's a very eco-friendly material. Unfortunately, this type of material is also, it's not the type of material that I usually feel. You have to remember, I review a lot of bags. I would say monthly. I test at least 2 bags. So I have a lot of different fabrics in hand, and this just felt different. It does feel, I have to say it like I felt at the beginning, it felt cheap. It felt very lightweight and very cheap. That being said, after testing it for a while, this lightweightness of the bag is actually amazing. It's really good. But as I said, from first initial impressions, I felt like, oh, this is so lightweight. This feels a little bit cheap. Not sure if I wanted to test it. Those were the first impressions that I had when I unboxed this bag. And I have to say it was a very unfair first initial impression because yes, I'm not used to a bag being this lightweight and it's hard for me to describe what this reminds me of. But if you test so many other bags, many of the bag enthusiast bags that I test usually, be it Go Rock, Evergoods, Black Amber, what else? Air, Able Carry. Those use all of these heavy duty materials and they're not heavy, but they have a certain perceived heft to them. And you touch them and you feel the box and everything is a little bit more substantial. Is that maybe the right word? It feels much more solid and therefore you perceive it as more high quality. And again, it was a little bit unfair for me in the beginning to think of this as cheaply made because from my testing, it's not. All of the stitching and all of the choices of materials, no, let's say that the stitching are good. The choices of materials are different. For me at least, this recycled material, I have seen bags with recycled materials. There are a lot of brands, for instance, Ground Truth, check out that review in the info tab above, also uses a lot of recycled materials, but that it had a little bit of a heft to it and therefore I did not really perceive it as lightweight and cheap. And I'm really sorry, Stubble Co, that I say it's cheap. It's not cheap. And after using it, it is not cheap. It is very durable. I use it on my motorcycle and on my day-to-day walking around the city. And I have to say, I really like the bag after using it because it is so lightweight. It doesn't weigh that much when it's empty. It's actually, let me double check the website. It says 1.15 kilograms. So it is actually fairly lightweight and I would have actually thought that it is much lighter. And having this on my bag on the motorcycle was actually quite liberating because I did not really feel it on my back. So being lightweight is actually a good thing. And the material is actually very dirt proof in a way because you can easily wipe off any dirt that is on this bag. So that is also another plus point for this fabric. So one, it's nature friendly. Eco-friendly. That's what. Eco-friendly. It's eco-friendly material made out of recycled PET. It is lightweight. It is easy to clean. It is water resistant. The way it is constructed, the stitching and everything is solid. It's not like the most bomb-proof stitching that you might have seen on other bags, but still for this category of being an everyday carry office bag, I feel this is enough. This is great. And this video being about best office bags, I feel this is actually a good office bag, especially for people who are commuting because it is lightweight. It doesn't weigh you down. It fits all of your items that you need for work. It looks good. It is available in so many good colors. This is asphalt, by the way, and I think this looks amazing. Internally, it has bright orange inner lining, which makes finding your office items very easily. It is a roll top, as the name implies. So it is a top loading bag, so you need to get inside and rummage around for items that might have slid down to the bottom, but because of the orange inner lining, it is actually very easy to find all of your stuff. I'm not too big of a fan of this G-hook, to be quite honest, because while it doesn't detach itself that easily, it still can detach and open up. There is a magnet up here, so it's not that anything will fall out, but if it opens, it never happened to me on a motorcycle, but if it would be open, then this would like flop in the wind, you know, like this. That could be a little bit annoying, which is why I do not really like G-hooks to be used as a closure for a main compartment. What I also do not like is this front quick access compartment. Just like on many other bags, it is just a big quick access compartment, so everything that you put inside just accumulates at the bottom. I would have loved some form of organization to kind of utilize the whole vertical space of that quick access compartment. Could be better, the quick access compartment. You have 2 bottle compartments on the side, a luggage pass through, a sternum strap that is adjustable in height. What I do not like about the sternum strap actually is, yes, you can adjust it in height, but from a design standpoint, I don't really like that there is this kind of loop going around the shoulder strap. It's not something that bothers you while using the bag. It's just something aesthetically I don't really like. It feels like hindsight, something tacked on. I feel if the sternum strap would just be attached to this little rail, that would have been enough for me. I don't need it to go around and therefore be something that A, doesn't look that great, and B, could be a point of where you kind of snag, especially if you have a motorcycle jacket on. There are sometimes some couple of buckles or whatever to adjust the protective gear in your arms, for instance. So there is a buckle here, so you can kind of snag on this. Don't like it that much. I would have loved that would be a little bit better. You have a laptop compartment that is good for 16-inch laptops. It is somewhat suspended, but not really. It's hard to explain. The laptop does not touch the ground, but it's not padded on the bottom. It is, as I said, somewhat suspended, but I wish it would be padded on the ground. But you have enough of space to kind of store your laptop. I would have loved a zipper garage on this laptop compartment. It's not YKK, it says Opti. Never heard of Opti, to be quite honest, but it is a AquaGuard style zipper, but I've never heard of the company Opti. I'm not sure if they're similar in quality like the YKK ones, but in terms of operation, it is good. Still, I would have loved the zipper garage because there is your laptop inside that is expensive, so a zipper garage would have been great. Inside you have a couple of organizational slots to drop in some of your items like a notebook, pens, your mouse or whatever. I like to pack modular with pouches and stuff like that, but it is good to have to organize your items inside the main compartment. Other than that, I think this is a solid recommendation if you are looking for a roll top style and, more importantly, lightweight bag for work. I feel this is a great bag for anyone commuting a lot because it is lightweight. It is great when you're up on a bicycle, on a motorcycle, or have to run a lot in the subway. So for that, I would say this is a great office bag for anyone who's commuting and still wants a bag that looks good in the office. So Stubble Co. I know, first impressions, I wasn't impressed, but now having used it, I like it. And I think for anyone who's commuting, this is a great bag. Alright, so these were the 3 bags that I initially thought could be in a list of great bags for the office or for work. But as you have seen, while all of them are very suited for work, or well suited that is, I don't think that all of them are that great. The Troubadour Apex 3.0 is an amazing bag for the office, and I can highly recommend that one if you want to elevate your office attire or want to have a backpack for an important meeting. The Stubble Co Rolltop is a great backpack for anyone who is commuting to work but still wants a bag that still looks good in the office without standing out too much. Furthermore, it has a couple of great color choices, and it being that lightweight makes it great for commuting, or if you are like me on a motorcycle or on a bicycle, for instance. And then the Watsonpack. With its unique features and cool design, I would have said this is a great bag for the office and for work. The hard shell keeps everything well protected, and I do like the look of it. There are some unique features, like it being able to act as a stand for your laptop is pretty cool. Not necessarily something that I personally would use, but more importantly, despite its great looks, at least in my humble opinion, and despite the hard shell protective case, there are a few things that I personally do not like about the bag, be it those hooks that I fear would break over time. Obviously, I don't have long-term testing to confirm if they would break after a longer period of time, but I feel that those hooks are positioned in a place that they could be abused to a lot of stress while you put stuff into the bag. You could get snagged onto the hooks and potentially break them off. Also, the lock already did not work for me anymore. Not sure why that is, to be quite frank, but it is something that I personally do not like that much. Furthermore, the capacity of that bag is limited due to the construction of the bag, meaning the hard shell glasses compartment that expands into the main compartment. Due to it being hard, it kind of takes away volume of that space, or maybe not necessarily volume, but it gets into your way if you want to pack some bulkier items inside. Overall, getting my pouches in and out of that main compartment can be a little bit cumbersome. Granted, not everyone uses a big tech pouch like I do, but still, if you want to pack modular, this can become very cumbersome, unfortunately. Bottom line, in terms of the Watsonpack, I do like the design, I do like the look, I like that it is hard shell and protects items like your computer or maybe a camera, but there are few trade-offs and things about the bag that I personally do not like, and therefore I won't use in the future. Your mileage might vary. You might think that the features are great and you can look past those aforementioned trade-offs. If so, please let me know in the comment section below what you think about the Watsonpack, but also what you think about the other bags like the Troubadour or the Stubble Co Rolltop. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any more questions about any of the three bags or whatever I mentioned in this video, also let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you won't miss next videos. And don't forget to check out my second channel, Instagram, and more importantly podcast, because I have a couple of very cool episodes lined up and there are new episodes every second week. So yeah, check all of those channels out at you know the bow. Stay safe and healthy everyone, and more importantly, drive safe. I intentionally switched off the display so I won't get distracted. Don't text and drive, and always look where you're driving. Alright, I see you in the next videos. Thank you very much.